So I spent about 4.5 years in the Army, and I got to go to various different places between Georgia, Washington State, Vilseck, Germany, and Bavaria. I also got deployed for 18 months all around Baghdad, also close to the Iranian border. We hopped around from town to town during the 18 months.
So I'm Lieutenant Colonel Justin Douglas. I'm with the Arizona National Guard. Currently I'm serving as the Chief of Staff for the Adjutant General and also as a Brigade Commander for the Aviation Brigade.
My name is Gordon Leatherbarrow, United States Marine Corps from 83 to 87. Was infantry, 1st Marines.
While I was there, I suffered a IED. There was an IED explosion, a rocket, 57 millimeter rocket came through the side of my striker, and it hit a piece of military equipment that holds up communications. While in that vehicle, I took seven pieces of shrapnel to my left leg and my right side.
Deployed a couple times to Afghanistan, both with the attack assets and with medical evacuation, dust off. And so that's mostly where I'm at now. And so now I'm more into the executive style, where I'm leading large brigades, which about 2,000 soldiers.
I mean, my story was, I grew up raised by a single mom, grew up in housing projects, and it got me away from all that and showed me there's a whole different world out there.
It was pretty cool. I got to travel three and a half of my 4 years in the Marine Corps, and it was probably the best thing I ever did.
And not everybody is out shooting guns and so forth in the military. There's tons of great jobs that you can align yourself up with when you get out. You can transition right into the civilian world and make a decent living. It was good for me.
It was amazing just because the relationships, the friendships, the travel. I mean, you were getting paid to travel, which, how many companies do that for you and stuff,
My name is Elvis Bray. I was a Vietnam Army for 2 years. I was an E-5 crew chief door gunner for the first 9 months, taking troops in and out of the battlefield. And then I switched over and flew co-pilot on the Loach for the scouts for search and destroy missions for 3 months. I was shot down twice and wounded once my first year. And then I extended for a second year and went up to the Central Highland in 68 and 69. And we just went out and picked up the wounded and took them to the hospital. And I got shot down 2 more times.
After, I would say, this evening, just being able to connect with some of these veterans here, getting to meet influence some of these young people and letting them know that if you don't have a clue what you want to do in life, spend 2, 3, 4, however many years in the military, get that training, take advantage of the benefits and stuff like that.
Answer questions of anything they want to ask me. I'm not a hero, I don't pretend to be, but I did my job and I'm proud to serve my country and do it again if I could. It was an honor. Not a pleasure, but it was an honor.
And so, on this occasion, I had been shot down. I was bringing troops into that landing zone, and I was shot down, and I had to spend the night there. Ed Freeman, my good friend, was on his way back to the States. He received orders to go back to the States. And he found out that I'd been shot down, so he came back. He turned in his dress uniform and said, I've got to go get Frank out. So he came back to the unit, got an aircraft. Bruce Crandall was the commander, and he refused him initially, but then he acquiesced and he says, okay, if you're going to insist on going, I'll go with you. So they both climbed aboard the aircraft. They came and got me out and pulled out the wounded. As you can see, they're loading up the wounded as well. So that's, to me, the best reflection of the Band of Brothers that everyone talks about. If you're going to be a soldier, you're going to be a good soldier. You got self-discipline. It's a beautiful place to go, and your career is made for the rest of your life.
Most of the veterans that I find are successful, and they've lived good lives, and they're good men, good women, and I respect all of them. They're my brothers and sisters, and I couldn't be prouder for the people in this room, and I'm honored to be among them.